Before we dive in, let me leave you with a truth that echoes across every chapter in human history. Nothing we are began in silence. Every civilization, every story, every ancestor left a trail of wisdom waiting to be rediscovered. What you are about to hear is a part of a legacy, preserved, decoded, and brought back to the forefront. I'm OG Mooney. Welcome to AI Legacy Lab.
Imagine a world hidden from time deep within the earth. In the rising darkness of South African caves, a forgotten chapter of the human story waited in silence for hundreds of thousands of years. It waited for us. Its bones were finally uncovered, and when they were, the world learned a truth that would completely rewrite the map of our beginnings. This wasn't a creature of fantasy. This was Homo Naledi, a real ancient human species. They were smaller in frame, but their spirit was clearly powerful. They had hands perfectly shaped for climbing, for navigating the treacherous vertical world of their cave home. But it was their minds that truly stunned the world. These ancient beings living so long ago buried their dead. They carried their loved ones into the deepest, most inaccessible parts of the cave, a place of absolute darkness, and laid them to rest. This wasn't just disposal. This was ritual. It showed intention, care, and a sense of meaning long before we thought such complex behaviors existed, long before modern humans walked the earth. The story begins in 2013 in the Rising Star Cave System, a place so difficult to access that it required a special team of small, skilled explorers dubbed the underground astronauts to even reach the fossil chamber. What they found was staggering. Not just a few fragments, but over 1,500 bones belonging to at least 15 individuals, from infants to the elderly. It was one of the largest and most significant hominin discoveries ever made. The chamber, now famously called the Dinaledi Chamber, which means Chamber of Stars, was a treasure trove of information, a silent testament to a lost branch of our family. These remains revealed a people who lived at the very edge of ancient humanity. They were a mosaic of features, a blend of the old and the new. They had some traits that were incredibly primitive, almost ape-like, such as their shoulders built for climbing and their curved fingers. But other features were surprisingly modern. Their feet were almost indistinguishable from our own, built for walking upright over long distances. Their wrists and palms showed a dexterity capable of sophisticated tool use. This mix of characteristics defied everything science thought it knew about the linear progression of evolution. It wasn't a simple ladder from primitive to advanced. It was far more complex. As researchers meticulously studied their skulls, spines, and the tools found nearby, another shocking truth emerged. The initial assumption was that these beings must have lived millions of years ago, given their primitive features. But dating the fossils told a different story. Homo Naledi lived not millions of years ago, but as recently as 236,000 to 335,000 years ago. This was a bombshell. It meant they were alive at the same time as early Homo sapiens. Our direct ancestors might have walked the same landscapes, seen the same stars, and perhaps even encountered these other different kinds of people. This completely changed our understanding of the human family tree. It's not a straight line, with one species neatly replacing the next. Instead, it's more like a braided river, a tangled bush filled with many different branches that rose, thrived, and sometimes disappeared, leaving behind only whispers of who we once were. We weren't alone on this planet. For much of our history, Earth was home to multiple human species, each with their own unique way of life. The story of our evolution is a story of diversity, of experimentation, and of coexistence, but the most profound discovery was yet to come. Deeper within the cave system, researchers found more remains, including the skull of a child. And near these remains, they found something extraordinary, engravings on the cave walls. Deliberate cross-hatch patterns carved into the rock, and evidence of fire of hearts used to light the darkness. This wasn't accidental. This was a species that had mastered fire, not just for warmth or cooking, but to navigate and perform complex rituals in the deepest, most dangerous parts of their world. They were creating symbols, making art, and burying their dead with reverence. These are behaviors we once thought were exclusive to our own species, the hallmarks of what it means to be human. Homo Naledi forces us to ask a fundamental question. What does it mean to be human? They have brains only about 1/3 the size of ours, yet they demonstrated abstract, planning, and what appears to be a spiritual or emotional life. This suggests that the capacity for complex culture and meaning isn't tied to brain size alone. It shows that the roots of our own brilliance, our creativity, and our rituals stretch much farther back into our shared past than we ever imagined. The discovery of Homo Naledi is a powerful reminder that Africa has always held the oldest and most vital chapters of our existence. It is the continent where our story began in all its wonderful and surprising complexity. These ancient caves are still giving up their secrets, revealing a history of intelligence, adaptation, and creativity far earlier than scholars had ever expected. In telling the story of Homo Naledi, we are not just talking about old bones. We are reclaiming a deeper, more nuanced understanding of humanity itself. We are learning that we are shaped by many forgotten ancestors, by parallel paths and lost cousins who also grappled with the mysteries of life and death. The soil of Africa holds the evidence that the journey to who we are today was never a simple march of progress, but a rich and intricate tapestry woven by many hands. The brilliance of humanity, in all its forms, has roots that run deeper into that ancient soil than the world ever wanted to admit, and the story is still being written. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into our deep past. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, subscribe for more explorations into the mysteries of our world, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What does the discovery of Homo Naledi mean to you? Thanks for watching.
Another chapter reclaimed, another piece of history placed back where it belongs. If you have found any meaning in this, let it sit with you. Let it sharpen your vision, not just for the past, but for who we are becoming. I'm OG Mooney, and this is AI Legacy Lab. Honoring truth, protecting legacy, one story at a time. Until next time, stay curious.